Jack Dorsey, who is the CEO of Twitter. Twitter, you may remember, began the massive censorship crackdown of social media. Jack Dorsey and Twitter, they were the first ones to trample on the First Amendment and shut down the President of the United States, not the former President of the United States, not private citizen Donald Trump, but an actual world leader in power. The President of the United States shut down his Twitter account in the middle of what people would say is a tumultuous time. You know, it might be a good opportunity or a good thing for the President of the United States after there were riots and after there were protests that went awry and after everyone was screaming and yelling about how unsafe they feel. It might be a good thing to allow the President to directly communicate with 88 million Americans, but they decided, no, we've got to shut that down for the good of the country. So they did, and then Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Pinterest and Spotify and Snapchat and TikTok and all these other places jumped on board like the president even ever used their platforms, but they did. And now Jack Dorsey yesterday, get this, the guy who banned President Trump told the AP it's a dangerous precedent. He bans the president and then tells everybody it's a dangerous precedent. He said, quote, "I do not celebrate or feel pride in our having to ban @real Donald Trump from Twitter," Dorsey wrote, but he added, "I believe this was the right decision for Twitter." Dorsey acknowledged that shows of strength like the Trump ban could set dangerous precedents, even calling them a sign of failure. Although not in so many words, Dorsey suggested that Twitter needs to find ways to avoid having to make such decisions in the first place. Exactly how that would work isn't clear, although it could range from earlier and more effective moderation to a fundamental restructuring of social networks. So here's a guy who says that we banned the President of the United States, and that is dangerous. He's admitting that what he's doing is dangerous to the country, to the world, and to freedom of speech everywhere. Extreme measures such as banning Trump also highlight the extraordinary power that Twitter and other big tech companies can wield without accountability or recourse. That's Jack Dorsey's own words. It highlights the extraordinary power that Twitter and other big tech companies can wield without accountability or recourse. He's begging for government oversight. He's saying, I did this. Look what I did. Look how much power I have. Look how irresponsible and dangerous I am. He's trying to backtrack, I guess, so that people feel bad for him or realize he didn't really want to do it, when actually the opposite is true. Because yesterday, Project Veritas released a video from inside Twitter where Jack Dorsey was saying pretty much the opposite.
You should always feel free to express yourself in whatever format, manifestation feels right. We do intend to do a full retro, as I said in my note. It is going to take some time. And then the other thing, just to close out a little bit, we are focused on one account right
Donald
now,
Trump.
But this is going to be much bigger than just one account. And it's going to go on for much longer than just this day, this week, the next few weeks. It's going to go on beyond the inauguration.
Okay, so they're focused on one account right now, Donald Trump's account, but he admits it's going to go on a lot longer. It's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to include a lot more accounts, and it's going to go on well past the inauguration.
We have to expect that. We have to be ready for that. So the focus is certainly on this account.
Donald Trump.
How it ties to real world violence, but also we need to think much longer term around how these dynamics play out over time. I don't believe this is going away anytime soon.
And so he's got a team out there, and they're focused on Donald Trump, and they took down that account. And now here he is telling his staff, this is an inside Twitter, I guess, Zoom call or whatever, but he's telling his staff, it's not just the one account. There's a lot more, and there are other topics, and there's other threads, and there's other ideas, and there's other trains of thought, and there's other, basically he's talking about conservatism that we need to take a deeper look on. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue much longer than just post-inauguration. So if you think, as many people have told you, that when Donald Trump's out of office, everything will get back to normal. If you think that when Donald Trump's out of office, everything will calm down. If you think, well, this is what the media wants you to think. They think they're trying to tell you that Donald Trump is the reason for all this chaos. And when he's gone, everything will be totally fine. And here you have Jack Dorsey saying, On one hand, we have too much power. It's a dangerous precedent. What we did should not have been done, but we did it anyway. And then he's telling his staff inside his organization, his very dangerous organization, which he claims has extraordinary power without any accountability or recourse, his words, not mine. He's now telling his staff, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning.